what is your official title, and how would you describe what you do?
I am a Reiki master, body worker, and sound therapist. 90% of my practice is energy medicine, so I work with people's energetic frequency, going into the subtle body, the chakras mainly, bringing up old patterns, habits, different situations to the surface, so that people can really look at the way their life has been going, and kind of cluing them into ways that they can shift things so that they take a power in their lives and create a different experience. Most people come because of anxiety or depression, so it's a really nice way to really have them tune into how they're creating that in their lives.
Shamanism is what I do, energy work, healing, vibrational healing. So what I do is I say that I work between the invisible realms, those places that people aren't always paying attention, and that's where we're able to go and heal things. So as shaman, I like to pretend like we're problem solvers, not just energy workers. So we're also seeing things from all kinds of different angles that most people aren't, in order to bring change, feel better, to solve the things that most people can't.
I do not believe it is religious at all. Reiki really is a way of channeling light. So just from any sort of source in anyone's belief. So you don't have to be Christian or Buddhist or any organized religion to practice or to receive or to learn it. In my personal way of working, I see it as very all-inclusive, so I call in a lot of different energies, whether it's Christ or Buddha, or anything really. But Reiki in itself is not spiritual at all. It really is focusing on the fact that we are all vibration and working with that frequency.
And we've had 3 people this week who called us demonic in our office. So it's really vastly misunderstood. To think that what we're doing is demonic instead of remembering that it's the truest connection to God that we have is just so devastating to me. So I love that you guys are...
This book that talks about the 7 chakras.
Yeah.
Does that have anything to do with...
The chakras are connected because they're energy centers within the body.
Right.
In Navajo medicine, there are different energy centers also in the body that we recognize. So those chakras help us operate efficiently in this world. So if you look at the Western medicine, they say that we have the physical, and then the next level would be the emotional. The emotional, the mental, the next layer, and then you have the energetic, universal. So the chakras affect each. When something's misbalanced or unbalanced, what it does is the chakras go awry. It's like the energy centers are off. So part of the medicine people, what I would do is help bring it back into alignment, and then make sure all of those chakras are in line, and then see kind of pinpoint where maybe the issue might be, what it's related to. Because each chakra has a different meaning and a different component.
Mm-hmm. How would you realign it?
More through energy manipulation, I guess you would say. Mm-hmm. The healing that comes through me is the energy healing that comes from the stars. It comes into my body, and then it radiates out my hand. So very similar to Reiki. So the energy that comes just like Reiki is something that emits out. And usually for me when I channel it, it's non-touchy. I normally don't touch the person.
Yeah, my hands are like tingling. Especially this one.
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy.
Yep.
That's crazy. Oh my gosh.
People feel it differently. And the best way I explain it is like on the palms, it usually feels like a tingly sensation, like you said.
Yeah, up to my fingertips.
And it feels. What I do is I have my client lay on a table, and I have them lay on a table, and then I just kind of feel to see where that imbalance is on the body, and that's related to the chakras. That will tell you which one's off. And then if that one is off, then I kind of, I guess you'd say, beam that energy.
So you can transfer your energy?
Yeah, that
Okay.
energy comes through because I'm just a straw.
And you can use things such as like gemstones or aromatherapy. How does that affect it?
It enhances it because what it does is, like if the client's lying on the table, what they would do is you want them to get in a nice, receptive, and relaxed state.
Oh, okay.
So what the stones do, the crystals and stone medicine, they enhance because each stone has its own unique medicine that's affiliated with it. Amethyst is good for the third eye. Another good stone, rose quartz, would be good for the heart. So just kind of each stone is catered to a different area on the body, and
Okay.
also affiliated with different chakra.
Are there any special materials you use during the healing process?
Lots of sound, lots of drums, lots of gongs, lots of stones, lots of incense, some different oils that are meant to raise frequency and open the chakras.
So we'll do a little bit of a reading to understand what it is that they need in their Akashic records, and then usually I'll put them on the healing table, which is a massage table that's just cozy, and we'll start moving energy around with the sound bowls, the singing bowls, tuning forks, drumming or rattling, and we'll start going in. So they're laying down. I usually want them to fall asleep so they don't be so resistant, and I record everything so they can hear it afterwards. But then I start journeying out. So with them there, I'm going to start inducing myself into a trance-like state with the drum or the rattles in order to like dive in and see what it is that needs to be shifted. To watch within their physical body, watch within their chakras, watch within their light body, where it is that the blocks are and things aren't flowing.
Once we have our session like this, and I'll say, okay, we need to do some energy work. I feel some blockages, or there's stuff going on in your life that we need to clear up. So I'll have you lay on the table, and then when I have them lay on the table, that's when I'll rely on my intuition to tell me whether or not, okay, to take this stone, you need this stone, you need this crystal, set it up. So I'll kind of, that's what this is about.
Right, yeah.
This is my little toolkit. So I'll take whichever one that I'm guided to, and then I'll set it up underneath the table to kind of enhance. With the clients, you want them to be comfortable, so because they're going to lay on the table. A normal session, I would say for me, when I do the session, about 40 to 45 minutes. And then what happens is, you had asked about what tools. That's where I have them listen to music as well. So I put them on, give them some headphones and give them some cosmic music so that they can take off and go.
And what would be cosmic music?
Music like singing bowls is a good tool. Singing bowls to hear. Let me grab that for you.
Yeah, if you could show us, it'd be great.
So singing bowls is a good tool to use because this has a nice soothing sound to it, right? And you can make it more intense if you want it to be. There's a reason why they call it singing bowls. See?
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So with this tool, you can use it and you can run it all along the body like this, and it helps with the chakras because, like I said, if your chakras is vibrating at a different frequency or at a different level, this will go in there and it smooths it back out. Gets it back into that nice kind of soothing sensation.
It's something that I think everybody should give a try at least one time. If anything else, it's probably the most relaxing hour you'll experience. But I think everybody should be open to knowing that it is accessible whenever they need it, if they need it, and that's it.
While doing an interview, it's important to have some knowledge on the topic you're doing. For example, when talking to Reiki masters, you have to use words like chakras, energy, transfer, and singing bowls, and it also helps get a effective response, and it's just respectful to the topic.
I think without research, you're unable to form a correct perspective because you're not really sure what the topic may even be about, so it will just be some untrue perspective that you're forming. So with the ability to research the topic, you're able to find out more about what it actually is. For instance, our group, we did Reiki, and at first, I had no idea what that was, and so I had probably some untrue perspectives formed as to how they went about energy transfer and stuff like that. But with research, I was able to find how it actually is, and I was able to form more of a professional perspective when I went in to do the interviews.
If you wanted a big general scope of your topic, then a good way to get that information would be to research it on the internet. Because the internet can give you so much information and there's so much potential that it's endless. However, if you wanted a more specific look on your topic, then a good idea would be to interview somebody who's experienced it firsthand. If somebody has gone through it personally and they have understood because they've lived through it, then they'll have a lot more specific details about the subject than somebody on the internet who is just reading information.
So as I was researching Reiki, I would ask myself questions to check my thinking, like what lens is this person coming from? When I was reading an article or a web page, I would try and figure out what lens he was coming from so that maybe I could sort through his biases. And I would ask myself, after reading the whole thing, what connections can I draw? Because if I could analyze the information and make my own inferences and my own hypotheses, then I know that much more about my subject and I can talk more about it. And if there was a paragraph that had tricky wording, I would ask myself, could I explain this to someone else? Because if I can't explain this to someone else, then I did process the information I just read.